Dive Dive the GoBot is ready to do some diving, so he brought with him today Submarine Commander for your Sears telegame system or Atari 2600, whatever works for you. And apparently, according to the label art, it's about an escaped convict who runs his own submarine. Awesome. That is a sitcom waiting to happen. Let's go ahead and take Submarine Commander, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Dive, dive. Submarine Commander was published by Sears and carries a copyright year of 1982. It is one of the few games that Sears published by themselves for their Telegames label. It was programmed by Matthew Hubbard, who also made Dolphin for the Atari 2600, which I reviewed in episode 253. The game also seems to have been inspired by the Sea Wolf 2 arcade game. Submarine Commander is an action game for 1 or 2 players alternating. According to the manual, you are a submarine commander in charge of a modern-day sub protecting your country. When you begin the game, you move the joystick left or right to move your submarine likewise, and press up and down on the joystick to move your periscope. Unfortunately, your periscope can only see a limited amount of the enemy-infested waves in front of you. Pressing the button will fire one of your 2 torpedo tubes, which alternate with every button press. A green rectangle on the bottom will indicate a tube is ready to fire, and you can only have 2 torpedoes fired at any given time. You start the game with 3,000 fuel units. Every time you fire a torpedo, get hit by a depth charge, or simply exist as a submarine, you use up some fuel. There is no way to earn extra fuel, and once you run out, your game is over. So you're a captain, and you don't know how to refuel. Some captain you are. When you move to the right or left, your engine temperature gauge located at the top of the screen will start filling up with red, indicating the engines are beginning to overheat. If they heat up enough to turn yellow, your sub will be damaged and you will only be able to move at half speed. There are 3 boats you face in the game. They are the large dark colored tankers, which take 2 hits to go down and are worth 20 points if sunk near or 30 points if sunk farther away on the horizon. The blue destroyers, which take 1 hit to sink and are worth 15 points if sunk near and 25 points if sunk far away. And the tiny PT boats, which take 1 hit to sink and are worth 35 points if sunk near and 45 points when they are sunk on the horizon. In the standard variation of the game, the boats will not fight back, but in other variations, either just a destroyer or the destroyers and the PT boats or all 3 types of boats will fire depth charges back at you. When the charges are fired at you, there's an indicator at the bottom that will point to the direction they are coming from, with red arrows indicating they are about to hit you, so it might be a good idea to move in the opposite direction a little bit. The difficulty switches can also affect the game, with the left switch used for player 1 and the right for player 2. The B position is a novice level game, and the A position is for the expert level, in which getting hit by the enemy can cause damage to one of your gauges, which is a nice touch. Graphically speaking, I thought the graphics looked decent, with the sonar at the bottom being a nice touch, although I would have liked it if they made the periscope window a little bigger, and the sounds were fairly decent. Family friendly wise, the game is pretty tame as long as you don't think too hard about all the people you're killing each time you sink a ship, especially in the game where they don't fight back. You animal. At the time of my research on eBay, the game was pretty scarce. Loose copies were selling for between $14 and $20, including shipping. So what did I think of Submarine Commander? Well, let's start with the problems first. To start with, I don't like how your window can't see all the levels of the sea. If you have your periscope too far up, looking at the horizon, you can end up shooting a bunch of torpedoes but never seeing them because they keep hitting a ship closer to the bottom that won't sink until you stop firing for a moment. Also, once a ship passed your cursor, there's no point tracking it down since you can't catch up. Finally, the game seems to lack a little polish, as even when I tried, I had a hard time overheating my engine, and it seems that enemy ships only fire in limited lines. When I moved a little to the left or right of that imaginary line, I rarely got fired upon. Now, this does benefit the player, but it did take away from the challenge a little too much in my opinion. However, on the flip side, this game is a refreshing change of pace from typical 2600 games, and I actually had some fun with this one. It's not something I can play forever, but it is a game I can enjoy every once in a while. So where am I going to rank Submarine Commander? Well, somewhere in the middle. I do enjoy the sports games, basketball and home run, a little bit more at 38 and 39, but I will give it an edge over Dragonfire at 40. So out of the 85 games I've ranked on the 2600, Submarine Commander is diving into the 40 position. Submarine Commander is a unique and refreshing game on the 2600. At this time, I'd like to give a special shout out to Atari.io forum member Ballblazer for trading me so I could have this game to review. Thank you very much. If you enjoy retro related videos, would you please click the like and subscribe buttons. You can also follow me both on the Facebook or the Twitter. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. You can find more retro podcasts and videos at theretrojunkies.com. And you can support the show on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/NoSwearGamer for more information. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and dive, dive, dive!